Greetings, everyone. This is Psychic Channeler Duann Keir with messages received from the consortium since the last video. The union of the Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine is at hand. It will usher in an era of more peace and individual spirituality. Look to the stars for your signs and proofs. Mother Nature will begin to show you her signs as well. Her creatures will become more visible to you with their messages and omens. Watch them closely and approach them with an attitude of humbleness and prayerfulness. Use whatever tools are available to you for divination. They are but conduits of opening to your own psychic development and carry only the power of your own knowing. Play with them in lightheartedness and joy. Ask for guidance and guardianship as you do so, and do so with the primary objective of receiving messages for the highest good of all involved, including yourself. Your divination tools will also bring you dreams and visions of Earth's creatures and the messages they carry. You will also journey to other planets and other dimensions in your dreams and visions. Look closely to see all that you can, but even more importantly, listen to everything that you can, for the whole cosmos is speaking to you each individually and collectively now. The secrets can no longer be hidden for any great amount of time. Those of you who have been called to a new way of thinking and communicating are needed now more than ever upon your planet. In the past, you have found yourself crying out in the wilderness, but now the wilderness is crying out for you. For those of you who have been consciously rising above the delusion of duality and praying for the peace needed between illusionary opposing forces, as we have said, there is no other. And for those of you who already understand this concept, it is time to step forth and give voice to your new way of thinking. It is also time to draw down more of your own soul's divinity into your physical incarnation, and to see yourself and everyone and everything around you as holy. You chose to come here to help with the ascension of consciousness throughout the cosmos, and you accomplish this mission while working where you are rather than trying to escape it. We have spoken of your Holy Mother Mary appearing more and more in more and more places with more and more witnesses. She is doing so, but only those in close proximity of her appearances are aware of this. We remind you that she is but one face of the Divine Feminine who will be appearing to you all. And it is time for more women to perform ceremony and ritual, not only to honor this energy, but to call her into full manifestation upon your planet. Prepare the way for her arrival, and she will more easily come. Your ancestral women desire to support you in this process, and ask that you call upon them for their presence and energy. The time of calling upon your fathers and your male gods is not what is needed at this time. What is needed at this time is the heart of the mother, and also her righteous indignation at how the least of her children are being treated by those supposedly in power and control. Her energy and principles cannot be intellectualized within your scientific method, for she does not follow its protocols nor its requirements. Rational, logical thought has its place, but it has displaced the power of personal experience and actuality. Your boxes are too small for the things you are trying to place within them, and the whole concept of placing things in boxes has kept you from the expansion of your consciousness beyond them. It is time now not for the teachings and preachings of men, but for the teachings and preachings of women who are not just repeating the teachings and preachings of men. It is time for pronouncements about what will no longer be tolerated, and time for women to support each other in their individual and collective truths. This is not so much about those who are called to be political activists as it is about those who are being called to become spiritual activators. Both are badly needed upon your planet, but the more who answer the call to be spiritual activators, the less the need will be for political activists. We have spoken that this is the time for the bringers of light more so than the warriors of light. The warrior energy is still a slayer energy, even when used in righteousness. Rather than slay the dark, bring so much light to it that it is transformed in the illumination of its own truth. The more one is committed to slaying the dark, the more one may become lost in its shadows. The more brightly one reveals their light out of their own shadows, and thereby unveils it in others, the more the darkness is seared and burned away to ash as a result. The more one is driven by the erroneous definition of success, money, possessions, power, fame, the less one finds peace in their present circumstances. The energy of more and more and more and more leaves one with less and less and less and less. Even the concept of abundance has been distorted upon your planet. It has been relegated to the realm of finance and all of its accoutrements rather than contact and connection and communication and communion with one's divinity. Did your Jesus come so that you might live life more abundantly, or so that you might live life with more money and possessions? Walk humbly as he and the other avatars sent to you have done. Rather than trying to find the right religion, find and follow your spiritual path by walking it one step at a time in the direction toward which you feel most called. It will be a path unique to you, for it is the main reason you came into your present physical manifestation. Join with others not in an attempt to all follow the same path, but rather to give and receive support for each individual to follow their own. The crossover of your individual paths will give strength to the whole. Listen for the old ones to update the interpretations that have been given to their messages from long ago. Spirit is not stagnant and delivers its messages in the best way they can be received at the time. This is a new time, and the old messages are ready to be re-delivered in the best way they can be received at this time. Holding on to old interpretations paralyzes the movement of spirit in the work to be done today. As counterintuitive as it may seem, your highest calling during these challenging times is to be more inward focused than outward focused. A warrior of light is more outward focused, but a bringer of light is more inward focused, building the light within to overflowing so that it might spill over to others and illuminate their paths as well. Your religions have for too long called for you to focus on an external reference point. It is an internal reference point that is most needed at this time, an internal reference point toward one's own divinity and channeling more of it upon your planet. This calls more for grounding than so-called ascension. The mystics of your religions understood that the direct experience of the divine was more important than the expression of dogmas and doctrines. It is actually upon what your religions were originally founded. Someone's direct experience of the divine and their encouragement of others to have the same experience. It is time for each individual to become their own mystic now, rather than repeat the misinterpreted canons and creeds trying to control your own access to the divine. We have learned this way of mystery and assist you in your learning it as well. It is through this process that you will begin to experience true abundance, resulting in continuous synchronicity and magic in your life. Your reality will be quite different from those around you, and soon they will be uncontrollably attracted to its light. This is what is meant by the expansion of consciousness. The old consciousness becomes obsolete and fades from memory. It is more important now than ever to remember to rejoice. Gather together with others for eating and drinking and dancing and ceremony and ritual. Usher in this new age, so to speak, with the experiencing of its present reality. Don't pray for it. Be in it. Your greatest currency at present, and always has been, is time. Imagine your minutes, hours, and days are kept in a bank account from which you are drawing resources. How would you like to spend your time? Many want more time when they find out they are dying. What would you do with your time if you found out it was shortly to come to an end? Live each day as if it were your last, so to speak, and you will find your days are fuller of life, true abundance in this time of the great gathering soon to come. As always, we remind you that we are here to serve and not to be served. We caution you against any who call for your service to them, or who in any way see you as less than they see themselves.